Welcome to the October Ordinary Council meeting at Muswellbrook Shire Council being held in the TEC building at Tertiary Education Centre, 28 October 2025. I declare the meeting open at 6 p.m. Please note that the meeting will be recorded and will be made available on Council's website. To begin with, we have applications for attendance by audio visual link. So we have applications from Councillor Bailey, Councillor Douglas, and Councillor McNeil. Have someone want to move that way? Move. Councillor Marshall, seconded Councillor Barry. All those in favour? Any against? Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. I'll wait for, all three applications are away due to work commitments. The acknowledgement of country, Councillor Hartley.
Council would like to respectfully acknowledge the local Aboriginal people who are the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which this meeting takes place.
Thank you, Councillor Hartley. Councillor Marshall, I ask you to read the civic prayer.
Almighty God, from whom comes every good and perfect gift, we give you thanks for the blessings you bestow upon us in this Shire. Grant to those who hold office in this council the spirit of justice and truth, of wisdom and charity, that mindful of our responsibility and of the needs of those we serve, we may promote the true welfare of your people, exercise wisely and faithfully the authority committed to us, and advance the common good through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Councillor Marshall. Councillor may be seated. I don't believe, apologies. We have one apology tonight from Councillor Dunn. But someone want to move that way? Councillor Marshall, Councillor Morris. All those in favour? And against? That unanimous and carried. Thank you. Confirmation of minutes. So you should have a copy of the minutes in the previous meeting, September business paper. Someone want to move those minutes for me? Someone want to move that way? Councillor Morris. Seconder, Councillor Marshall. All those in favour? None against? Declare that unanimous and carried. If you any disclosures of pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest, I'll start on my left. Councillor Morris.
Thank you very much. I have two to declare. Item 6.2, the scholarship for the Hunter Regional Conservatorium. I'm on the management committee for the conservatorium, and a small non-pecuniary interest for 6.6 was the proposed change to the admin building. Opening hours. My wife works for the customer experience team that would be affected by that.
Thanks, Councillor Morris. Councillor Barry. Councillor Hart.
Yeah, I've just got the one. 10.3.1, the Roads Act 1993, permit Mac Energy Wybong Road. Pecuniary interest. I work for the contractor who operates the Mount Pleasant mine for Mac Energy.
Councillor Hartley. Councillor Scholes.
So,
We'll do the screen now. Councillor Douglas. Councillor Bailey. Any pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest? You're on mute, Councillor Bailey, I think.
yes.
None? Councillor McNeil? Okay, he's also on mute. Councillor Bailey, sorry, I'll go back to you. We can't hear you. You must be on mute. Well, you are on mute. From your end, not ours. Still on mute. While you're trying to get yourself off mute.
Now.
There we go. Councillor Bailey.
Apologies. I also have 10.3.1. I work for the contractor that has Mac Energy mine that the road is for as well.
Thank you. Councillor Marshall, did you? Yeah. Councillor Mahajan?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have one item 10.1.3 monthly report to Council Planning and Environment Regulatory Service. One of the property listed in this report, I am my one on it.
Thank you, Councillor Mahajan. Councillor Ward, and I have none to declare myself. Human interest done. We'll move straight on to the mayoral minute. Mayoral minutes tonight. We have two, so one that is in your business paper and one that's not. The first is the mayoral minute myself, of course. I will talk to that in a minute. Sorry, I have a mover of that first. So I want to move Councillor Morris, Councillor Scholes. Anyone wish to be heard? You wish to comment? I will make some comment. I do want to thank, as the mayoral minute does, I do want to thank councillors. It has been 12 months, fairly fast, 12 months, I might add. We've got an awful lot of work has been done in 12 months by councillors and staff, and certainly we're all well aware of how much work we have ahead of us. I don't think the job in front of us is going to be a surprise to any of us. We all know well, but I do need personally to thank councillors and staff for certainly the help to get where we've got it all. It all looks good on paper and looks good when you've got it written down, but it's the work that goes on behind the scenes to make that happen. So I do need to thank councillors. Now you'll see right at the end of that mayoral minute, we have a guest. So we have Inspector Todd Hobson tonight from Muswellbrook Police Station. Todd is going to give us a report. Everyone, is there anyone against, or everyone happy for a lot of time of 10 minutes?
Yep.
Thank you, councillors. Over to you, Inspector. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Drayton, and thank you, Council, for the invitation today and allowing me to address you all. As I said, my name is Inspector Todd Hobson. I'm the officer in charge of Muswellbrook Police Station. So I'm in charge of this LGA, look after all the constables, detectives, and responsible for what happens in the station. Sitting above me is Superintendent Steve Laxer, who is the district commander. Our district goes from Murrurundi down to Stamford, Merthyr, out to Cassels and up to the Barrington top. So it's a large area. I'm hoping to address council and the committee quarterly to keep you updated as to what's happening police-wise, and for you, yourself and the community to raise any issues that you feel as though needs to be raised. I can report that recruitment for Muswellbrook Police Station is on the up trajectory. We had a lot of vacancies there at one stage, but however, the Be a Cop in Your Hometown program that was kicked off by New South Wales Police has been successful, and we do have 3 new recruits who are attached to the Muswellbrook LGA commencing here at Muswellbrook Police Station in December. So we very much look forward to them and to have that local knowledge come into our community as well. We are quite junior there at the police station. We do have mostly constables and constables, and we do have our senior constables and our sergeants that sit over them for their advice and guidance and everything like that. So it is a positive police station, and people do love coming to work here. Well, no one's told me otherwise, so I don't know whether they would or not, but anyway, that's all right. When we look at our general statistics, we have seen a decrease in domestic violence assault, and our legal action rate, which a person's been charged with those offences, is sitting at 77%, which is above the northern region and the New South Wales average in relation to those offending. We have seen a slight reduction in assaults, non-domestic violence related, and our legal action rate for that is above the northern region average. Unfortunately, we have seen a spike in break and enters against retail, commercial and residential, and that is a focus of us there at the police station. In recent weeks and months, we have seen a trend down in relation to that offending, and that is because of some focus of our proactive crime team, where a heavy focus was put on some recidivist offenders, and they were put before the court. So we have seen that reduction. No one likes their house being broken into, and that's a continued focus of us here at Muswellbrook Police Station and the proactive crime team. In relation to stolen vehicles, it is on par with a slight increase. Robbery, we have had a slight increase as well there. We're drilling down into those causes of the robberies in relation to what has taken place there, whether they're drug-related or street robberies, and that's something that our detectives look at and constantly review. Malicious damage, which is our vandalism, has seen a reduction across the LGA for the last 12 months. Still from retail has seen an increase, and this is something that we are seeing across the state, where and everyone has been putting it down to that cost of living crisis, where grocery theft is a huge concern, particularly for our major retailers, where we're now looking at other strategies to reduce that recidivism, as well as get Coles and Woolworths on board to go with that. Sexual assaults has seen a reduction here in the Muswellbrook LGA, and our injury and fatal crashes has seen a slight uptick. This area was significantly high in relation to fatal car crashes, and a lot of work has been done by the Traffic and Highway Patrol Command to put additional resources into this area in relation to RBT, RDT and road rule enforcement, particularly speed enforcement. So since those extra resources have been put into the area, we have seen that slight reduction into our injury and fatal crashes, but it's always remains a continued target for us. Domestic violence is a focus for us, working in with our stakeholders and our people that assist us there, the community groups and youth. That's another focus now. We've just had our 2 youth officers appointed at the PCYC here at Muswellbrook, so that's also a continued focus, which I know council is heavily involved in as well. So I'll be presenting a major presentation of overview of the entire PD and the Muswellbrook LGA at the committee of the community and committee, and that'll be on the 11th of November. If anyone wishes to attend to where I'm going just in finer detail and take some questions from the public with which they may be concerned about, which they may wish to ask, which I have no issue with. But as I said, thank you for the invite, and I'm hoping to very much so, and I'll make that commitment. We'll get together quarterly. We'll be able to go through any issues that need to be raised.
Thank you, Inspector. Before you, I do, on behalf of the council, we do appreciate you coming today and talking to us prior to the meeting and again now. I can give you the assurance that council, whatever assistance council can give, we'll do whatever we can. And I'm sure it certainly is the view of every councillor around this table that is their view, I should say, that we can, we'll give whatever help we can and work as closely as we can, obviously to benefit our community. So thank you for attending. We do appreciate it. We'll talk to you again real soon.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I thought you don't have to.
Come on, cool.
Okay, we have a mover in a second to put that mayoral minute. The mayoral minute, Inspector has spoken. So we have a mover, Councillor Scholes, and a second to Councillor Morris. It was. All those in favour? Declare that unanimous and carried. Now the second mayoral minute is a CBD Enhancement Advisory Committee. So the General Manager and I and staff have met twice in the last week with Transport for New South Wales, and to give some report prior in regards to the pending moving forward of the bypass, the Muswellbrook bypass. Of course, the commencement of that bypass has been announced many times. So I'm one of a number of, or nearly every mayor who's announced the bypass. I hope I'm the last one that gets to announce it. But certainly what that does for us is brings forward, or certainly more urgently brings forward, the requirement for us to be ready for CBD enhancement provisions. So what we need to do to our main street effectively. So I'll put the following motion, I'll put the following mayoral minute forward as a motion. We want support, we want discussion from councillors. So I'll put the motion that I'll put to the meeting is, in order to facilitate the main street upgrade, Muswellbrook Shire Council resolves to establish the CBD Enhancement Advisory Committee and authorises council staff to undertake all relevant administrative tasks to create the committee, including requesting from the community expressions of interest to participate on the committee. First of all, I've got to move for that. Councillor Marshall, second to Councillor Morris. Any discussion? Any questions?
Bypass. 1, 2, 0.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I'm just wondering if.
Yeah, sorry,
Apologies,
Councillor.
Steve.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
2009.
Yeah.
2009. I actually think, Councillor Wood, your memory doesn't go back far enough. I think it might be 20 years before that.
Yeah.
It might have been 99 or 79. It might have been. But it's been quite a while. Councillor McNeil.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a great initiative. Just wondering if there is a financial estimate for this committee.
No idea. At the moment, that'll depend on, of course, the final outcome. So yeah, no idea, but it'll be dependent on a number of things, and of course, who finances it will be another dependency of. the outcome of that committee as well. So there's a
A
number of
great
things to
investment
consider.
anyway. Hmm.
Absolutely. Any further questions? Thank you, councillor. If I have a mover and a seconder, if that's the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? None against. Declare that unanimously carried. Thank you, councillors, for your support. Business arising. So, item 9. Is there any business arising from the minutes? No business arising. Thank you. We'll move on straight into business. Item 10. So, planning and environment. So, our first item is 10.11. It's DA 2019-90. The road naming application 9 Yarrawal Road, Denman. The recommendation in front of you in the business paper is that council approves the road name of Hidden Hive Road submitted for the subdivision approved under development application number 219-90 and supports gazettal of the approved road name by the Geographical Names Board. Have I a mover? Councillor Scholes and Councillor Ward. Councillor Scholes, you wish to be heard?
Yes. I commend the name. We're sick of using surnames, running out of options to go name streets. I think the idea of a hidden hive is eclectic, interesting, and it's quite a good name for a street.
Yes, Councillor Scholes, Councillor Ward. Any further comments? That being the case, Councillor McNeil.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I just support Councillor Scholes' words and also say that I don't believe the listed objections around, I guess, the disadvantages of the name being associated with alcohol are really relevant.
Thanks, Councillor McNeil. So I agree. That being the case, no further questions. I'll put that. We have a mover and a second. All those in favour?
Aye.
None against. Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you, councillors. 10.12. So we move on to land care grants. The recommendation in the business paper is that council approves the grants as shown in table 1. Any comment?
Do we need to move it?
Yeah.
You need to move a second of that.
Yeah, we can. We need it. We'll take a mover. Yes. Yeah. Move. Councillor Marshall. Seconded. Councillor Morris. Any comments? Councillor Marshall first. Councillor Morris.
Okay.
Councillor Morris.
Thank you. Just with regarding a little bit of uncertainty around the Richard Gill School, asking for rapid-proof fence. We've become aware that the ownership of Richard Gill School is about to change, and we don't know if their new board has the same sustainability vision that the current Richard School board has. So potentially, not sure of the process, but can we opt to change the? Sorry,
The process can be if you want to put if you want to
change the.
amend the motion,
Amend
and
the motion.
Councillor Marshall will need to accept that amendment.
Thank you. Yeah.
So the motion can read that we accept the land care as shown in the table 1, except for
Richard Gill School.
the granting the grant awarded to Richard Gill School.
That's
I don't think it needs to be any more technical on that. What? Yeah. Councillor Morris, Councillor Marshall, do you accept that?
Fully support that.
Okay, so the motion now reads that council approves the grants as shown in table 1, except for the awarding of the grant to the Richard Gill School. We have a mover and a seconder. Councillor Marshall, back to you. Do you want to comment on that? Okay, Councillor Morris. Any other comment from any councillors? No, that being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? Any against? Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you, councillors. 10.13. So the monthly report. We have no declarations. Monthly report to Council Planning, Environment and Regulatory Services. So the recommendation in the business paper is purely for noting to the information contained in the report be noted. Have I a mover for that? Mover for that, Councillor Hartley and Councillor Morris. Anyone wish to be heard? Being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? None against. Declare that unanimous and carried. So 10.2, moving to corporate services. So the end of the year closure, 25-26. Recommendation in the business paper is that council approves 1,
Well, is that one I need to leave for? No,
No.
sorry. I wouldn't think
It
that. No.
That council approves, one, the proposed Christmas closure from 5 p.m. 23 December 2025 up until 5 p.m. the 2nd of January 2026, and two, the closure of the council facilities on Friday 5 December 2025 for employees to attend the end of year celebrations held by council. Have I a mover? And the second move, Councillor Barry, seconded Councillor Morris. Anyone wish to be heard? Okay. If that being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? None against. Declare that again unanimously carried. Thank you, councillors. Changes to the provision in the draft code of meeting practice. The recommendation of the business paper in front of you is that council endorses the changes made to the provision in the draft code of meeting practice and approves extending the period of public exhibition to 1 December 2025. Have I a mover? Councillor Marshall, I have. And the second, Councillor Barry. Councillor Marshall? No, Councillor Barry? Anyone wish to be heard? Councillor McNeil.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just wondering the reasoning why the public speakers will no longer be allowed to speak during the meeting.
All I can tell you, Councillor McNeil, is that that's in the new code. It's one of the items. There's not many items you can actually make changes to. That's one of the ones you can't make changes to. And ultimately, it was a decision by the Office of Local Government, and one that we can't do anything about. It's not one that we can change. It isn't uncommon for councils to have their speakers speaking before a council meeting. That said, there's a number of councils, those speakers might go for an hour as well. It's certainly not the case with us, but certainly it's an area in the code of meeting practice that we're unable to be flexible about.
But it's still recorded.
But it's still, what I should say is it's still recorded. So effectively, all it is exactly as we are now, but before the official meeting starts. Still recorded and, still transparent to the public.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? That being the case, I have a mover and a seconder. All those in favour? None against. Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. Register of pecuniary interest. So the recommendation of the business paper is purely that the tabling of the register of pecuniary interest for the period of 30 to 6, 2024 to 30 to 6, 2025 be noted. Have I a mover? Councillor Hartley, Councillor Barry. No one wish to be heard? And that's the case. All those in favour? None against. Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. September 2025 quarterly budget review. So recommendation we have in front of us is that council endorses the proposed changes in the September 2025 quarterly budget. Have I a mover? Councillor Morris, of course. Councillor Mahajan. Anyone wish to be Councillor Morris? No, Councillor Mahajan. Any questions?
Yeah.
Councillor Ward.
Draining. When?
The drainage.
Yeah.
Denman.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much, Councillor Ward. In relation to that, Councillor Ward, $435,000 is being spent in Finline Street for the relining of the stormwater drain. Our work has commenced and is progressing. We're trying to do the work to ensure that it's carried out in school holidays as much as possible, so it doesn't impact upon the Denver Public School and St Joseph's Primary School.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. General. Any further questions? That being the case, we have a mover and seconder. I'll put that motion. All those in favour? And none against. Declare that carried. Unanimous and carried. Thank you. Monthly financial report 10.25 we're up to. September 2025. So the recommendation is that council notes the financial reports for the month ending 30 September 2025. Have I a mover? Mover Councillor Morris and a seconder Councillor Mahajan. Any questions on that report?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
No questions? No questions from our teams? Okay, if that being the case, I have a mover and a seconder. I'll put that. All those in favour? We have none against. Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. 10.26, report on investments held at 30 September 2025. So again, for noting that the recommendation in front of you is that council notes council's investments as at 30 September 2025. A mover, Councillor Scholes, Councillor Morris is the seconder. Any questions? Okay, no questions. I'll put that. All those in favour? There's none against, so we'll declare that unanimous and carried. 10.3 infrastructure and property. So this is 10.3.1. It's Section 138 Roads Act 1993. Permit Mac Energy, Wyong Road. The recommendation of the business paper reads that council delegates authority to the general manager to approve the Section 138 Roads Act 1993 application submitted by Mac Energy for access, known as Bates Gates, off Wyong Road for the delivery of oversized, overmassed vehicles. Have I moved for that? Councillor Marshall is moving that, and
Sorry.
Wait.
To leave.
oh,
You just leave Claire and we'll invite you back.
Thanks.
sorry. Thank you. Just quickly get out of the room, Councillor. Now, have I moved it? Sorry for that. Councillor Marshall moved it. Councillor Ward seconded it. Councillor Ward. Councillor Marshall, any discussion? Any questions?
No, thank you.
Councillor Ward. Any further questions? Or any questions? Okay, that being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? None against. Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. We'll have one back into our TV and one into the room.
Just goes to show you how quick they get rid of it.
Waiting for Councillor. Councillor Bailey should be back in a minute. Councillor Bailey, can you hear us now? You're on mute. Oh, it's all right. You're on mute. 10.3.2.
Yeah.
Thank you. 10.3.2 signage and wayfinding master plan. So the recommendation of the business paper is that Council 1 notes information collected from the signage plan being on public exhibition and further consultation with internal and external stakeholders, and 2 approves the master signage and wayfinding plan document be finalised for adoption, and 3 request that concepts be prepared for the renewal of Muswellbrook Shire signs, including the use of digital information technology, and reported to council. Have I someone want to move that way for me? Councillor Morris, and a second to Councillor Marshall. Councillor Morris,
No.
have you heard? Councillor Marshall? Are there any questions on that report? No questions, thank you. That being the case, I'll put that to the meeting. All those in favour? We've none against. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.3.3 Sandy Hollow School parking changes. So recommendation of the business paper is that council approves the changes to the following signage as shown on the plan attached to the report. In 1, move the existing bus zone 8 a.m. to 9:30 and 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. school days zone on the Golden Highway 45 metres to the east to correspond with the new bus shelter location in the front of Sandy Hollow School, and 2, install a 45-degree angle parking rear curb vehicles under 6 metres zone west of the existing no parking 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. school day signs for a length of 17.5 metres. Someone want to move that way? Councillor Marshall, Councillor Barry. Any questions, Councillor Marshall?
A question, just a comment that talking to the local bus proprietor, those times don't fit when they actually pick up the kids to town for the high school.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Marshall. We can certainly get staff to speak to them.
Yep.
For sure. Councillor Barry, second. Councillor Barry, any questions? Okay, I'll put that to the meeting. All those in favour? And again, declare that unanimous and carried. 10.3.4. This will be an interesting one if it doesn't. 10.3.4. Temporary road closures to conduct the Denman Food and Film Affair Saturday 1 November 2025. The recommendation in the business paper is that council approves the closure of Ogilvy Street from Palace Street to Virginia Street and Paxton Street, from Turtle Street to Isabel Street, under a Section 138 Roads Act 1993 approval to conduct the Denman Wine, Food and Film Affair from 3 p.m. Friday the 31st, 2025 until 5 p.m. Saturday the 1st of November, 2025, within the following requirements. 1, that all closures are to be in accordance with the attached traffic control and traffic management plan, with procedures in place for access by emergency services and property or business owners as required. 2, a traffic management plan will be submitted as part of the Section 68 application. 3, the event organiser to advise the business operators within the affected site of the road closure 28 days prior to the event. 4, all traffic controllers hold the appropriate qualifications. 5, the applicant is to present the necessary public liability insurance policies to council prior to the event. 6, New South Wales Police are to be advised of the event and provisions for any counter-terrorism threat to be followed if required. And 7, finally, the applicant to advertise the road closures in the local paper at least 28 days prior to the event, with all emergency services being advised of the closures and local access arrangement. Have I a mover? Councillor Barry, of course, and Councillor Ward over to take. I know a number of those conditions have already been met. Obviously, with the confidence that this might get up. Councillor Sculls.
I have a problem with the motion because of the thing you just mentioned. You've said we're approving an application after some of the provisions of the application are in. I can see that we've done it, but I think within the motion it should acknowledge that those things have already occurred.
I can put on recording. I can put on record, I should say, that I can confirm that a number of those items, a number of those items have occurred.
We can confirm that every item that's supposed to have been done prior to this date has been done as per the motion. I will support the motion, but unless that happens, I find myself in a terrible position where I can't support the motion because we're approving something that is already supposed to have happened, and we're saying we're crossing tenses, we're crossing past, present, future tense, and past tense.
I'll ask the General Manager, Councillor Sculls, to give you some comfort in the fact that that's been done. General Manager.
Thank you, Councillor Sculls. Yes, indeed, Councillor Sculls. It's the function of the application that requires these things to be approved by council.
Yeah.
The team has been extremely diligent in making sure we get these things done as quickly as possible. However, with the signage company, there was some delays in their traffic control plan. That's why it's been brought to this meeting. But all of the activities that have been required to be conducted have been conducted.
I think the motion needs to change wording.
Councillor Sculls, I've got something to give you some comfort. There's 2 changes they do occur. In number 3, where it says, of course, the mover is Councillor Barry and Councillor Ward. I like to accept these, but if you're happy, and I'll just help you here. 3, the event organiser has advised the business operators in 3, and in 7, the applicant has advertised the road closures.
And notified the businesses.
Yes.
And all that.
So, yep, that's right. I'll be correct.
And number 2, Mr.
Number 2 says the traffic management plan has been submitted.
Just keep in mind, Councillor Sculls, this came to the traffic forum last Tuesday.
I know, but my point is we can't approve a motion for things to happen after the motion and they're already supposed to happen.
Councillor Barry, Councillor Sculls has to obviously just been through each of those. So where it says will be, obviously has. The General Manager can confirm it has. Are you happy to accept those amendments? Councillor Ward, are you happy to accept them? Thank you. That being the case, the new motion reads, well, in 2, that the traffic management plan has been submitted. In 3, the event organiser has advised, and in 7, the application was advertised. That being the case, and the changes to that is the new motion. It's been accepted by the mover and the seconder. Any further comment? If there is no further comment, I'll put that to the meeting. All those in favour? None against? Declare that unanimous and carried. Not as much sweat as Councillor Skulls might have had if she didn't get up. 10.3.5, CWA accessible footpath. The recommendation in the business paper is that 1, Council approves the Crown Public Road pathway adjoining the CWA Country Women's Association in full and Hunter Disability Service Proprietary Limited through lot 255 DP 728952 be transferred to Council and authorises staff to apply to Crown Lands pursuant to section 1521 of the Roads Act 1993, and 2, once the pathway has transferred to Council, authorises the commencement of the proposed road closure of the pathway under the provisions of Part 4, Division 3 of the Roads Act 1993, including 1, publishing a notice in a local newspaper and on Council's website seeking public submissions, and 2, notifying all adjoining landowners, and 3, and finally, notifying all utilities authorities which may have assets affected by the closure. Now, have I a councillor want to move that way for me? Councillor Marshall, Councillor Ward. Councillor Marshall, you wish to be heard? Councillor Ward. Any questions on that report at all? Councillor Morris.
Just a question or a clarification. Once the council has got ownership of that land from the Crown, my understanding is we do the work and then give it back to the land owner adjacent to the footpath. Is that how I read that report?
Thank you, Councillor Morris. So yes, it's a planning footpath, and once it's closed, that becomes council's. The council's going to negotiate with the neighbour to do a transfer, because their lot is dissected by this footpath, and to make the footpath and ramp work for the CWA, we do need to configure it such that there's some land ownership that has to sort of swap around. So there'll be a further report that comes back to council on this. It's quite a lengthy process. We've been talking about this for a number of years, but we've got to do this first before we can finalise it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Any further questions? I have one. Might be again, Mr. Lyso. What do we now refer to as the local newspaper?
Country Side.
Country Times. I know that we put that there forever, and I'm just interested to know what we refer to as the local newspaper now. Thank you. Any further questions? That being the case, I'll put that. We have a mover and a seconder. I'll put that. All those in favour? There's none against. Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you, councillors. 10.3.6. So Campbell's Corner redevelopment, proposed changes to the admin centre and offices. The recommendation of the business paper is that Council 1 approves the proposed design changes as attached and described in the report, and 2 supports progressing to tender for detailed design and construction. Have someone want to move that way? Councillor Morris. Councillor Marshall. Councillor Morris.
No, thank you.
Councillor Marshall, wish to be heard? Any questions? No questions. I'll put that. All those in favour? If no councillors against, I'll declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. 10.4, community and economy. So 10.4.1 is our Australia Day Awards 2026 guidelines. Recommendation in the business paper is that council endorses 1, the 2026 Australia Day Award categories, criteria and guidelines, and 2, the 2026 Australia Day Award nomination period is between 29 October and 27 November, and that the establishment of Australia Day Award Nomination Committee consists of all councillors. Have I a mover? Councillor Scholes and Councillor Marshall. Anyone wish to be heard? Councillor Scholes.
Yes, the one thing I'd like to do with regards to the criteria for the open award, and actually identify within the criteria that it's open for volunteers, volunteer organisations, community organisations to apply for that open award, so that people understand anyone who does something, no matter what field, what area, with regards to helping their community, is able to be recognised in that open award.
Thanks, Councillor Scholes. I understand that is the case, but yeah, we need to
I think we just
advertise
put some more words within the criteria.
open. I think truly means that, but you're right. I think we need to explain it.
Yeah, just put a bit more explanation.
Yes, there's no problem with that. Motion doesn't need to change. Any Councillor Marshall?
I'd just like to advocate that all councillors or people being told that the nominations are on, and the finish date is the finish date. Not like we've had the last couple of years where we've tried to get late nominations.
I was remiss. It is who the mover we had was who moved it? Councillor Scholes, Councillor Marshall. He's prepared to accept the change. This is from the chair through to 29 October through to 4 November. I do understand 4 November still gives us time to get to the
4 December.
4 December, I should say. 4 December.
This TARDIS thing you've got going on,
For December. I do understand that will still give us enough time to get to the December meeting, and it does give it in fact gives it gives a full nearly 5 weeks.
I
Are you happy to accept that purely just an extra week, Councillor Marshall? Okay, that will now become the motion. It's just purely an amendment of that second date to 4 December. You have that, Michelle? Thank you. Any questions about that now then? That being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? None against? I declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. Awarding sponsorship, Hunter Regional Conservatorium. Councillor Morris will lead the room. The recommendation of the business paper is that Council 1 approves a cash contribution of $3,260, including GST, for one Hunter Regional Conservatorium 2026 scholarship for one recipient who is a resident of Muswellbrook Shire for 60-minute lessons provided over the 1-year period of the scholarship, and 2, request the Hunter Regional Conservatorium to provide details of the recipient to Council once the scholarship is awarded, and report of the student's progress at the end of the scholarship period. Have I a mover for that? Councillor Barry and Councillor Scholes. Councillor Barry, any questions?
I just want to acknowledge that we did this last year, I believe, for the first time, and it's great to see it ongoing and giving students that opportunity, especially with the cost of living at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Councillor Scholes?
Yeah, I was basically like to also agree with what Councillor Barry said, and also commend the conservatorium with regards about outline the way the scholarships will work and how they operate. It shows quite a professional approach to this kind of process.
It does. Councillor Scholes. Any further comments? That being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? We have no councillors against. Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. I was back to 10.4.3. Awarding of sponsorship, Barami Hall Centenary Celebration. The recommendation in the business paper in front of you is that council approves gold sponsorship of $800 to the Barami Hall Committee for their centenary celebration to be held on Saturday, 15 November 2025. Have someone want to move that way for Barami Hall? Councillor Barry does, and Councillor Marshall will second it. Councillor Barry?
It's nice to see these small community halls still up and running and thriving, and it's a great opportunity for council to actually support them. You know, they are very small communities, very small areas, but they're still pumping along. So it's nice to see that we've got the ability to keep them going.
Thanks, Councillor Barry. Councillor Marshall? Yeah, I have to agree. Councillor Barry, I'm understanding 100 years of continuous operation at
Yes.
Rugby Hall.
Pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive, but it certainly is, and they are one of the more active halls, I understand. So it certainly is great. Any further comments? That being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? None against? I declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. Awarding of a community grant fee waiver from UHCS. So the recommendation of the business paper is that council approves a community grant or contribution fee waiver of $439 to Upper Hunter Community Services for their Cinema Under the Stars event to be held at Highbrook Park on Friday, 31 October 2025. Someone want to move that way? Cinema Under the Stars, Councillor Morris and Councillor Sculls. Any questions? No questions? And that being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? None against? Declare that unanimous and carried. Be good Cinema Under the Stars at Denver now, I understand. Oh, there you go. Council grant update, 10.45. Recommendation of the business paper in front of you is that council notes the information contained in the report and endorses council staff to review and apply for funding opportunities identified in the report. Have I a mover? Someone want to move that way? Councillor Morris and Councillor Barry. Anyone wish to be heard? Council grant update. No one wishes to be heard. That being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? None against? Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. Proposed changes to admin opening hours. Councillor Morris. We'll go again. Okay, the recommendation in front of us is that in the business paper is that council approves a change in the opening hours of council's administration building on Thursdays from 8:30 to 9:30 for a period of 6 months, with a review at 3 months to assess customer feedback, operational impact and improvements to service delivery. How about someone want to move that way? Councillor Barry and Councillor Marshall will second. Anyone wish to be heard? Any questions about that report? Councillor Barry?
Training and development of anyone is always important in their job role. It gives them better job satisfaction. And in this case, it gives our community better satisfaction. So I see this as extremely important to the base of council.
Thanks, Councillor Barry. Thanks for that support. I agree. Councillor Marshall? Any questions about that report? That being the case, I'll put that to the meeting. All those in favour, raise your right hand. No one against? Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you, councillors. We're on to the minutes of our meetings now. So minutes of committee meetings, 11.1. The first one is Community and Economy Committee meeting that was held on 9 September 2025. So recommendation of the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the Community and Economy meeting held on 9 September 2025 and adopts the recommendations therein. Have I a mover for that? Councillor Morris and Marshall. Councillor Morris?
No, thank you.
Councillor Marshall?
No, thank you.
Any questions on those minutes? That being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour? I have no councillors against. Declare that unanimous and carried. The local transport forum minutes now. The recommendation of the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the local transport forum held on 14 October 2025. I have Councillor Marshall to move that and Councillor Hartley to second it. Any questions about those minutes that you've provided? No questions. That being the case, I'll put that. All those in favour. Do I have none against? Declare that carried. 11.3, unanimous, sorry, and carried. 11.3, Infrastructure and Property Committee meeting, 14 October 2025. So the recommendation in front of you is that purely again for noting, council notes the minutes of the meeting of the Infrastructure and Property Committee held on 14 October 2025 and adopts the recommendations therein. Someone want to move the Infrastructure and Property Committee meetings? Councillor Morris and Councillor Ward has seconded that. Anyone wish to be heard? Any questions about those minutes? No questions? I'll put that. All those in favour? None against. Declare it unanimous and carried. Thank you. We have no notices of motion. I'll move into council reports. I'll start on my left. Councillor Morris.
Thank you very much. I have two items to report. First one is last week I was invited to and joined in the strategic group's recent presentation on how mature is your council's customer experience. This session brought together customer experience leaders from Mornington, Peninsula, Shire and Noosa Council to explore how local government is transforming service delivery, embedding customer experience into operations and building trust within their communities. This was a fantastic presentation and certainly an eye-opener on what customer experience versus customer service looks like in the day-to-day operations of council. They were able to deliver practical lessons from councils leading in customer experience transformations, key findings from our 2025 local government customer experience maturity index, and actionable takeaways and next steps for our own customer experience journey. Now, I forwarded these to the Director of Community and Economy for council's information to do with whatever. To quote a line from the strategy group's presentation, let's continue to raise the bar for customer experience in local government. Together, we create smarter customer experiences that strengthen communities, inspire trust and deliver impact. It was well worth doing, and thank you for the invitation to that. The second thing is I was able to attend the Muswellbrook Preschool's 60th anniversary on last Saturday, I think it was. Wow, I have to admit, I sent my children there and my granddaughter now goes there. I don't know if you're aware, but they employ 60 staff, that little preschool, it blew me away. They were the small employer winner of the year for New South Wales from the training awards, and they are in the top 3 finalists for the small employer of the year for Australia to be held in Darwin. I'm not sure. November, I've got a feeling.
I think it's only next week, yeah.
It's close.
It's not next week, the week after, yeah.
Now, that's a credit to that little preschool that started 60 years ago. I was not aware that they had that status, to be honest with you, and a huge congratulations to Muswellbrook Preschool and their 60th birthday. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor. Councillor Barrett, Councillor Hartley, Councillor Sculls, Councillor Douglas, Councillor Bailey.
Hi, yeah, I attended the Muswellbrook Regional Art Gallery and was lucky enough to be a part of that exhibition opening, or actually the 2 exhibition openings and the awards on Saturday afternoon. It was a really good event put on by the gallery with the support of council, and congratulations to all the winners. And that's the Viola Bromley Art Prize. And then also to note, the other exhibition there at the moment is Up the Garden Path, it's called, and that's a number of local ladies who get together that otherwise might not participate in what they love to do, which is painting and support each other and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it was a really good thing to be a part of, and I appreciate the invite.
Thanks, Councillor Bailey. Councillor McNeil.
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Marshall.
Yeah. I was privileged to attend the diversification seminar at network event, small business last week, and I'd like to commend the Shire camp for the whole of the Shire for a great event, and it was really well run. And
thanks, Councillor Marshall. Councillor Mahajan. Councillor Ward.
No.
I have a couple, and I won't go over the ones. I do appreciate and thank councillors. I attended the preschool and the Viola Bromley and the Small Business Awards with a number of other councillors, and it makes a difference in this community when we turn up to small business event. As you said, Councillor Marshall, with 7 councillors who attend that event, it makes a real difference and gives the community some real confidence that I think that we do mean what we say. So I thank councillors for the efforts in the last month. attendance, and I won't go through them all again. Myself, like Councillor Morris, couldn't believe that preschool employs 59 people.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And that would be more than most of our major schools employs. That's just incredible. I also had a trip with the HJO, the Hunter Joint Organisation. So 8 of the 10 mayors went to Sydney to meet with the Premier, the Treasurer, and a number of ministers, most ministers, to be honest, over 2 days. That was about the HJO's advocacy priorities, and of course, the leading priority for the HJO, for the Hunter advocacy for all 10 councils, is jobs, primarily focuses on this area, purely because what's ahead of us and what's going to happen in this area affects every single council in that Hunter group, all the way from here, all the way Pitt to Port, I think is what they refer to it as, so, and everywhere in between. So I attended that. I also attended an event at Singleton, Future Made in the Hunter, it was called. So it's the coming together of 2 Future Made in Australia and the Net Zero Authority, the 2 federal government agencies, and the state government agency, Future Jobs and Investment Authority, the coming together of those 3 groups, state and federal groups, again, to form a group, hopefully, that we're going to see do a fair bit of work for us moving forward in the job creation and industry attraction space. And of course, as I did say, or a couple of things, I attended only on Sunday this week, the Emeritus Mayor Award for Neil Tully-Nellams, the former Lord Mayor of Newcastle, down in Newcastle. So pretty special. She spent an awful lot of time, as the mayor, and you're in the spotlight when you're the mayor of Newcastle City Council. She'd done that job fantastically to achieve, done some marvellous work for council down there, both as a councillor and a mayor over a long period of time. And 2 other things quickly, the book launch. So before the preschool on the weekend, the general manager and myself attended a book launch just next door in the library, where there was 10 books that were launched. So they were history books by the Muswellbrook Historical Society. If you haven't been there or you haven't had anything to do with them, it's well worth a visit. It's a bit of a hidden treasure for this council. I can tell you some of the stuff that they got is remarkable, and I congratulate the 2 the gentlemen down there that put that together and organised it. So it was a great day. And finally, of course, and I think I'll officially wrap up, as we can now say that every single mayor, I think, of this council that's ever been the mayor of Muswellbrook Council now has announced a bypass that's coming. I'm now officially that mayor, one of those mayors now. I said earlier, I hope I'm the last one to do it. I don't know if I'm going to pass by that. I just mean that I hope that the bypass is going when they tell us it's going. So we spoke earlier about the urgency about that bypass. So we've met a number of times now, twice in the last couple of weeks, only with Transport for New South Wales. They're very supportive. Transport have been, but we've got, as we all know, we've got an awful lot of work to do in front of us in regards to that. No written questions. Questions for next meeting, again, starting on the left.
No, thank you.
Councillor Barry, Hartley, Councillor Douglas, any questions for next meeting? Councillor Bailey, any questions for next meeting? Councillor McNeil.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple. Just in relation to the Code of Meeting Practice public forum, is there any flexibility or discretion from the Mayor and General Manager to allow public speakers to speak on matters other than what's listed in the business papers?
No, I can answer that bit first. No, it's very clear.
Very specific.
That is, you can only speak on matters that are contained within the business paper.
Yeah, I guess I'm just questioning whether that is would necessarily be in the best interest of the community if a member of the public wanted to meet and speak on a matter that is of, I guess, community concern or importance.
Well, I guess Councillor Neil, when my answer remains the same, no, they can't. It has to be. It's very clear. It has to be. But there are other forums we can put on, and we do put on. Business events are one of them. But we can put, if we've got members of the community that are concerned about issues, we have a number of forums, including committee forums, where we can, those items might be on the agenda, or we can put public forums on. And this council have done quite a number of them in the last 12 months. And if it's an issue that is important, I can think of one or two come to mind immediately at the moment that we might have to put some public forums on. And if we have to do that, we will. But unfortunately, that is the only way now that we can get. There is no way around it, is the short answer.
Thank you. And the second question was, at the commencement of the business papers, it actually details the requirements around the public participation or public forum, but it doesn't actually state that the participant has the option to extend from 2 minutes by way of resolution, as is spelt out in the Code of Meeting Practice. So can that be amended so from in the future that detail at the commencement of the business papers actually adds that additional information?
Thank you, Councillor McNeil. At any point, a resolution of council can be put to the council. So if that, I'm not sure that needs to be specified in the Code of Meeting Practice specifically in relation to the public participation. But we can discuss that further at a later point.
Thank you. If I could just make a supplementary to that, I know that there's been some speakers that weren't aware that they could ask for that extension. I guess if they had read the Code of Meeting Practice, they would be aware of that. Just think it might be an advantage to add that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the chair's job, Councillor Neil, to inform the speaker when they start that they are able to do that. I understand. I think on every occasion, but maybe if I've missed one.
I understand you have the ability as the mayor to put it to councillors to extend.
Yes, to extend
That
that.
was my reading of it, that you have that power to do that. They are approved.
I understand. You're right. Yes, the skulls. Thank you. Councillor Marshall, any questions for next meeting?
Nothing.
Councillor Mahajan, Councillor Ward, and I have none. That being the case, we have a couple of matters to discuss in closed council. I asked someone want to move and second move, Councillor Scull, second Councillor Hartley, to move into closed session. All those in favour? None against. Declare that unanimous and carried. I'll ask the recording to cease, please. Okay. Thank you, councillors. We'll read out the decisions in closed council. So 17.1 refinance loan. The recommendation.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think Dawn, I told her to go.
Happy birthday, mate. You're stuck in there.
Thanks, Councillor Ward. We'll go through. We'll go through 17.1. So, council, the motion that was endorsed by council is to negotiate, or council to delegate to the general manager to negotiate the lowest fixed interest rate with one of the 4 major banks for an amount of $5.2 million for the loan. The start date of the loan will be 23 November 2025 in accordance with the terms offered by the selected bank, and 2, execute the loan agreement to refinance the loan referred to in the body of the report to the financial institution that provides the lowest borrowing cost to council, and that was endorsed by council. 17.2 is the design and construction of resilience works at Karula Park. So the recommendation supported by council was to 1, decline to accept any of the tenders for contract 2025-2026 0668, design and construction of resilient works at Karula Park, Muswellbrook, as both tenders are non-conforming and over budget. 2, in accordance with clause 1783E of the Local Government General Regulation 2005, approves entering into negotiations with the preferred tenderer identified in the report as it is considered most likely to achieve the best value outcome for the council. And 3, request that a further report be submitted to council for determination of the awarding of the contract following negotiations. 17.3 was a water usage account. Recommendation of council endorsed was that council resolves not to adjust the water bill for the property referred to in the report, considering the confirmed accuracy of the meter and the owner's responsibility for internal plumbing. The act, 17.4, the acquisition of land to facilitate bus shelter installation. The supported by councillors was to defer consideration of this item to allow council staff to undertake further investigation regarding the placement of the bus shelter. That was again supported by councillors. And 17.5 was the regional procurement tender T012324 HUN provision of road resurfacing. The motion accepted by council, moved by and accepted by council was 1. The council accepts the following contract as suppliers for the period 2025-26. A, resealing program Fulton Hogan. B, asphalt works Downer. C, crack sealing super sealing. And 2, endorses the inclusion of the lower ground floor of the Muswellbrook Marketplace underground car park to be funded by the Future Fund. That was all the items we dealt with in closed council. I now declare the meeting closed at 7:28. Thank councillors for their attendance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, councillors, who come in.
Thank you, Mr Mayor.